I know a lot of people who say, I want to have my own business or I want to be an entrepreneur. Once I find that thing, then I'll do it. I just don't know what I want to do yet.
80% they waste the time and 20% they prioritize only for something.
Yes.
And they feel that the 80% of the time they are spending so great.
I had control of the amount of income I was making in that side hustle. Whereas nursing, I'm told what I'm going to make.
I tried a nutrition plan and I felt the power of nutrition and it changed my life completely.
We identify leaders as well. Like we see people that have amazing potential and we're like, you would be so good at this. Would you like to have a look at the business opportunity?
I don't watch TV. I can't see how watching anything on TV is going to serve me towards my goals. Okay? Unless it was Inspirepreneur podcast. Inspirepreneur podcast.
I would like you guys to join our community and wait for the inspiring video. Today we got two inspiring sisters who escaped their corporate jobs and converted their fitness goals into business. Hi Poppy and Shani, how are you?
Going good.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to our show today, and I'm so grateful. And today we are going to talk about your, experience regarding the business and how you converted your corporate lifestyle into proper business. So,
Sure.
how did you start your journey?
Yeah, well, my journey, as you mentioned, is a corporate background. So, yeah, I was a corporate girl for about 12, 13 years. Fell into that sort of a job after doing 1 year of uni. And really just based on everything that I knew, I thought that the corporate world was it. I thought I'd made it, working in the city, getting a good salary, getting bonuses, all that stuff I thought was amazing. But it wasn't until I was exposed or introduced to our Northside Nutrition and this community, I found a love, I guess, for something bigger than corporate world and business. I found a passion for helping people. It started with my own health journey, feeling great in myself, in my body, and learning more about nutrition that I didn't know before. And after I had my son, I went on maternity leave. And during that time is when I really wanted to look at something different. Didn't want to go back to the corporate world for another 15 years. It was that perspective shift in my life where I thought, can I really do this for another 15 years? And I was looking for more. I was looking for something different. And yeah, it was around that time where I first walked into one of our smoothie bars. And I was, just spending time in there, drinking smoothies and just loving the community, the vibe, the energy. I could see that things were building. There was momentum happening in that community, and I wanted to be a part of it. So it started at home. Around my newborn baby is where it began for me, and it just built from there. So,
How about you, Shanti?
Yeah, okay, so my background's an emergency nurse. So I was in that career for 14 years and, I went to uni straight out of school and just thought that nursing was going to be the thing I was going to do for the rest of my life. I think I was the first kid in our family to actually go to university. So it was like this big thing that I got a university degree. And, got into my nursing career, became an educator in the emergency department, was training nurses. And I went back to work after I had my first baby and I had a massive priority shift, right? So I went back and realized I didn't want to be spending as much time at work than what I was at home with her. And I had been involved in our community, helping people with nutrition wellness coaching while I was still working as a part-time nurse. So it was just something I did on the side. And that same as Poppy, it started with my own personal health journey. So, I started on a nutrition program, got amazing results, post-baby, dropped body fat, I've gained muscle. I just felt so awesome, but not really realizing that there was a business opportunity attached to that. I was just using my nutrition program and then started to help some other people feel good because they were asking me questions about it. And it wasn't until I saw my best friend get a completely life-changing health result with my help, with this nutrition program, with our community, that I thought, I could actually see myself doing this and helping more people. And I've always loved helping people, nursing background, that sort of adding value into other people, I think has always been a big passion of mine. So when I started to do that and saw my best friend completely change, that's when I started to sort of open my eyes up to the possibilities and maybe I could help some more people. I went to this big event that our community put on, just to kind of hear other stories of other people that were working in the business, making extra income around their families. I heard stories. I felt that emotional connection to what they were doing, the mission. So then when I came back from that event, I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to do this. I can really see myself building a business part-time around my nursing career, which then will allow me the time to be able to stay at home more with my daughter. And as my family grows, just have that flexibility to be able to make income on the side as well as work my part-time nursing. So that's kind of how it started for me.
Now you converted your part-time as like full-time working into
Well,
business, right?
well, it evolved. So, I mean, my mindset definitely shifted because I was originally treating it like a little bit of a side hustle. And that's where it began. But then once I did some more training, like I had no business background, but I had incredible business mentors and we had an awesome training system that I was in that taught me how I could build this wellness coaching business and earn more income, help more people, make a bigger impact. So as I was doing that, I realized my income was growing, okay, because I was, adding more value and helping more people. So when I saw the potential of what my income could be, I started to, in my mind, started to think, do I actually want to be a manager in nursing? Do I see myself on the corporate side? I actually didn't. I didn't really feel that drive and ambition to grow up the nursing ladder. So I didn't see any future in my nursing career. So as I was building my wellness coaching business as this side hustle and I was making some amazing income, I had control of the amount of income I was making in that side hustle. Whereas nursing, I'm told what I have to make or what I'm going to make. So I made the decision that I could do this on my own terms, create a lifestyle with this business and not go back to my nursing career. So after 14 years, I resigned.
That's awesome. How about you?
Well, for me, I still do work corporate. Okay, so I still do have a part-time job in the corporate world. So I do that 3 days a week. But I've been able to build this business, started off with my son when he's a newborn baby, pretty much, just helping friends and family with their health. My health journey was, I've got no nutrition background, whatsoever. I was always active, but I never knew much about the power of nutrition. Didn't really think I needed it, to be honest. Like, I thought I was pretty fit. I thought, people used to always say to me, Poppy, you can eat what you want. I'd be like, yeah, I can, right? So it wasn't really something that I consciously really thought about, like enhancing my nutrition, because I felt all I knew about health was that if you were either skinny or not, right? That was like as far as my education went. But what I learnt over time, like through this community and what I experienced, was the power of nutrition when I did decide to try it out, because I'm curious. I'm seeing these people, seeing Shani, my sister, with all energy. It's a different glow about her. She's just a bit more elevated than she was before. It's like, what's going on? Like, I'm open to try it. So my experience was that I tried a nutrition plan through the community and I felt the power of nutrition, and it changed my life completely, because all of a sudden, I'm actually waking up in the morning. I'm not falling asleep on the train. I used to just fall asleep on the train to and from work every day. I had this energy, in the office, in the corporate environment. It helped me perform. I had mental clarity. At 3:30, 4 o'clock, when everybody's ready to clock off for the day, and they're like, "Where's the coffee? Where's the chocolate?" I'm like, I'm on, and I'm ready to go. And it's because of the power of nutrition. That's what it did to me. It allowed me to be better in a lot of areas of life. So once I experienced that, I was like, I'm in with this nutrition. Then after I had my son, I was able to bounce back from that pregnancy and birth so fast, back into the fittest shape I'd ever been within about 4 months. I
think you were better after the pregnancy than what you were before.
That's what I'm saying. To the fittest I'd ever been. Within 4 months of having my son postpartum, I was playing a high level game of football. I was athletic, fit, amazing, against what so many people thought was going to be possible. I was able to go to another level due to the nutrition that I was consuming. So these types of experiences, when it's happening to you personally and you're feeling it, and you've got a passion to want to share that with other people, you start to see that people are tired. You start to see that people are struggling with their weight loss or whatever it is. You start to notice it and you know that you've got the answer. So it's only natural that you're going to want to be able to share it, and what a feeling it is to share it. You know, like when Shani shared with her best friend who lost 10 kilos, you know, that was the turning point where you go, wow, that feels good. There's just so much more that we to offer with what we do. And I love that I can do this, and I can build it around corporate job, 3 days a week, not forever, you know, while I'm building, okay? But, you know, it's be able to have those options and get started where you're at, and you can do it around what you're doing. And then when the time's right, obviously you can make those shifts, like Shani deciding not to go back to nursing. She had that choice. So, yeah, absolutely love what we do.
It's very inspiring. Both of you like got a good, you know, lifestyle which changed your lifestyle. Every morning when you woke up, what is that one thing keeps you driving the whole day?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got big goals. Yeah, we do have a mission for our community. We want to impact 10,000 people. So I think the biggest driver for me is the people in our community that we have impacted, and knowing that there's so many more people out there that's, you know, lives that we could change. So that for me is my biggest driver.
Yeah. I mean, fully connect with that as well, because obviously we love what we do. We're so passionate. But as Poppy said, in terms of goals, like we do set our own personal goals before, like in the beginning of our business, and we kind of look at what we really want to achieve throughout the rest of our life. And I guess there's a vision, you know, I've got a family, I've got my children that I'm able to really be a part of their life as they grow up. But, you know, we've got goals as well that we want to be able to, you know, travel the world, have some choices within our family, not worry about money, all that sort of stuff, right? So the way that we make income by helping people, impacting the community, we're growing a community, but it's also leading to our own like freedom within our own lives as well. So just all, you know, being able to sort of create that lifestyle where we don't have any have-tos. It's all just all the things that we want to do. So I think that vision of the future as well is just a massive driving force. And, you know, of course, the people that we wake up to every day, like our community, they're like family. And, you know, that's amazing, that feeling of knowing that we're there for them and we're helping them get better in their own lives.
Yeah, that's the way you told was awesome. And the way how you help them in the way you conduct the free workouts, how does that work? Like how do you organize those things?
Yeah, okay. So I guess if you look at what we're doing each week now, so we have our nutrition clubs, like these smoothie bars that we have. So we have we're about to open our third bar. Okay, so that is like our hub where we're serving people amazing smoothies and energizing teas and giving them a really positive experience. So our whole philosophy and goal is to have people like walk out feeling so much better. But then because we are all about helping people transform their lives, it's not just the smoothie bars. We do run our free community workouts. So that's kind of attached to the smoothie bar. And that's just a way that we can get the community together. It's free. They get to move their bodies. They build relationships within the community. And we know that it helps with their mindset as well, staying on track with their own goals. But then we also have our challenges that we run. So we do a lot of work around educating on nutrition. And we run 3-day kickstart challenges, some 10-day challenges. We run 28-day challenges. And through those, it's all really about, you know, educating people.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things about what we do is about sustainable health. So when you hear 3-day, 10-day, 28-day, we aren't talking about starting and then stopping. We're talking about creating habits in that time frame that set people up for life. You know, it's a long game. It's health, it's wellness, longevity, immunity, feeling good, you know, everything like that. With some education, anybody can do it. So we really pride ourselves on the sustainable habits, not something that's like a fad. We never use the word diet, nothing like that. It's just creating a healthy lifestyle, and we show people how to do that, and we see the results.
So you create a healthy lifestyle for them to understand how you need to prioritize your nutrition, you know, daily nutrition levels, so that they can continue that thing for long. So how if somebody wanted to come in and change that thing into business, how do you suggest them?
So some people come in looking for a business opportunity. So they come in, they see the business opportunity, they need to experience the nutrition to get a feel for what it is that we're actually doing, okay? So a connection to our nutrition program. So then they feel the difference and they have a story to share with others. And then that's how they can start their business that way. Or we identify leaders as well. Like we see people that have amazing potential and we're like, you would be so good at this. Do you want to come and check out what it is that we're doing? Would you like to have a look at the business opportunity?
But everybody starts in the same way, and that's experiencing the nutrition, like Shani said. So it's always a 3-day kickstart, is always, you know, the entry point to really experience what we do, experience the plan, experience having a coach, get your own feel and connection to the nutrition. So that's always the most important first step.
Yeah. About the kickstart, how that exactly works? If a person want to start that kickstart and, you know, experience the feeling you explained to me right now, so how does exactly it works?
Yeah, well, I mean, ideally, if you're going to take one step back, depending on where people are located, it's even better to first come into one of our smoothie bars, into one of our nutrition clubs, meet us, meet the coaches that are behind the bar, and actually have a smoothie from the bar. That's probably the best first experience that I would suggest. So come in and meet us first and foremost.
And these kickstarts are free, am I right? The workouts are free.
Yeah, well, there's a cost involved in the kickstart. It's just for the pack that you get, you know, with your coaching and your smoothies and everything like that. But throughout the 3 days, you know, you're doing it at home, you're doing it around your lifestyle. You're not coming into the bar. You know, you can if you want, but we're showing you the habits to build at home around your lifestyle for your goals. So
and then throughout the 3 days, I think there's a shift that happens. You know, people feel better. There's a lot of reports that I get from clients that have mental clarity, energy, de-bloating. They love the structure, the simplicity. They love the follow-up. They love being coached by someone. I mean, there's a lot of different businesses out there that don't have that follow-up, that real personalized service, but we really pride ourselves on that to give them like an ultimate experience that we want them to feel cared for. We're always there, okay? So they go through that 3-day experience, and at the end, it's like, you know, if it's for you and it's something that you want to explore to continue on with, then we show you a couple of options that are in line with your goals, but also in line with your budget as well.
That's really, you know, properly educating them what exactly they wanted. That's like giving the blueprint of success, am I right?
Absolutely, and with support. So, you know, what we find is so many people try things on their own. You know, they're at home, they might have got something from the shelf or found something online on Instagram and they're trying it out at home, and you know, without that support, there's only so far that somebody might go. And if they, you know, muck up a day or two, you know, we see this a lot. People would then like just forget about it. Like I can't do it.
It's not for me.
It's not for me. They, you know, they go back to the old ways. You know, it's some people can, a small percentage for sure, would be able to do things on their own. Okay, but most people, it's not quite as sustainable. So we're like the biggest differentiator that we find in our community with what we do is you have a community of people also making progress, working on their health and changing their habits. You've got a coach, like Shani said, that's checking in, that's there to answer questions. And, you know, if things in their day aren't quite working, like I'm finding it hard to get, you know, my snack in at this time, we're here to workshop anything and everything to make it work for that lifestyle. So there's just that extra level that we offer, that we see the sustainable results with people every day.
And I think what we were talking about before with the fit clubs, like how we run the fit squad, that's just one of those moments during the week that people can connect in with, because we know that mindset, we have our philosophy of 80% nutrition.
I'm going to ask you about that one actually.
Oh yeah, okay, 80% nutrition, 20% exercise and 100% mindset. So when we talk about the 100% mindset, we know that it is very much around association. Yes, having the coach, but then when you are around a community of people that are like-minded, that, like Poppy said, working on their goals, people are progressing. So if someone who's having a bad week comes into a fit club, or that's called Fit Squad, we will change their mindset because they get inspired. So then that will then kickstart them into maybe improving their habits for the rest of that week. So they don't go into a slump, we pull them out of the slump. And then that's how people can continue on and get results and change their lifestyle and change their habits and make it really sustainable. So
coming to the mindset, that plays major role in, you know, getting things done in a successful way. That's main thing where we need to concentrate and pitch and teach them what exactly they wanted. So have you triggered those things in initial days, like for yourself when coming to the changing your corporate background into business? How did you get that mindset? What have you changed in your daily lifestyles?
Good question.
Well, I think the biggest thing that stands out for me is, again, association, being around others who are progressing. That was the biggest shift for me when I first started meeting people that weren't in the corporate world, because I'd always been in that environment with those same types of people, which are people that have a job and they're not necessarily entrepreneurial. They might be, but they're not really acting on it. And then to be part of this community and meeting people who are entrepreneurial, do want more for themselves, want to take control of their lives, have big vision and goals. I was initially like, whoa, I've never met people like this before, but it was more time with those people that then started to change my mindset. So it was just being in the right rooms with others. Yeah, what do they say? If you're the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room. You want to be with others that are going to lift you up. And that, for me, for sure, has been probably the biggest shift that's been able to... I'm not an entrepreneur naturally. I'm a corporate 9-to-5er, right? That's what I was for so long. So to develop into an entrepreneur and a business owner and a business person, it's for me like the association and obviously all the training and everything like that. But it's the people that we're around and mentored by that allows me to live that life.
For me, I mean, I was a bit of a slow burn at the start. But I think what started for me, my mindset shifted initially feeling good about myself when I started on the nutrition, because I probably had a lot more negative self-talk in the beginning from my background. I was a dancer, like, I don't know, there was just stuff there. So the nutrition itself and being on this program first created space in my mind to actually really feel good about myself, because I think self-image is probably one of the key things to success. And we were always encouraged to read like personal development books, listen to audios, like just kind of really
stop
feeding
watching
my
TV.
mind. Yeah, stop watching TV, stop listening to the radio.
Yeah.
All of those negative things that really don't set you up for success at all. Like just learning that this is a different way of doing things. I think I slowly just really started to see a different way that I could be in my life, a different way of thinking. And of course we do a lot of events, we attend a lot of big major events, we hear some incredible speakers. So we're constantly in an environment where we're pushed to become more, become better. And then, also our mentors are incredible. We've got amazing business mentors who support us, check in, make sure we're on track. We keep us accountable in the business. So, yeah.
That's very, particular thing where mentors should always keep an eye on the other guys. Otherwise, you will work like that, because that's where you start growing and they start feeling happy in that.
Yeah, that's it.
Teaching you everything what is required to grow in the life. So creating yourself this business type of structure and, changing your corporate lifestyle into this one, it's not that easy actually. How much time did it take for you to, mingle into this type of things?
I guess the beauty of our business is you can start with not needing to make too big of a decision. We're getting amazing health results, and we're starting to just put in a little bit of time around what we're currently doing. There's not huge sacrifice in the beginning. Obviously, if you want to go faster and commit harder, you can, but a lot of us can begin just around what we're doing. So in terms of like, is this working? Is this what I want to do? I mean, sure, it's only natural for us to ask those types of questions of ourselves. We're not superhuman. We all have doubts. We're all, can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. But it's the mindset and all of the personal development training, because not everybody can have their own business. Not everybody does entrepreneurial type work, do they?
Yes.
Most people don't, right? So it takes a type of person to actually be able to do this, and it's all about the mindset and being able to shift that and have personal growth constantly to be able to go to the new levels with your business, because it's not easy. And some days are like this, other days are like this, but when it's your own business, it's up to you to keep driving it forward no matter what. And the only way to be able to have that perseverance is through your mindset, your personal growth and development and association, to make it work.
I think more the time factor. I mean, with the question that you asked around like how much time did it take? So, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's got a different lifestyle. Like if people are working full time, then the mentor, it's their job to kind of sit down and have a look and see, well, if you want these goals, if you want to achieve this amount of income, if you want to make this amount of impact, we need to do the X, Y, Z. Is this possible? Have you got 5 hours a week? Have you got 10 hours a week that we can put into your business? And then the business mentor will help you like create that structure. So that's what happened with me. And then of course, as my business grew, you become so much more connected and passionate to it that the hours that you thought you only had in the beginning all of a sudden grow because you want to be spending more time on your passion project. Okay. Yes. So it becomes, for me, it became addictive because I just loved what I was doing so much that didn't feel like work. But, you know, that's when we started to run more community workouts and we're doing more things that, you know, could fit around me having young children. So it might have started with a couple of hours a week in the beginning, but then it grows as you, I guess, grow more confidence in what you're actually doing as well.
And it's interesting because a lot of people don't think they have time. They're like, I don't have time. But I bet you if we had a look at their schedule, you know, there's things in there that are happening, you know, like points throughout the journey. Maybe when you first start, you know, you are still going to the footy, or maybe you are still watching a bit of Netflix. But as Shani described, as you're starting to build that business and the passion for what you're doing, you can clearly see like that is not serving me and the growth of my business. It's out. I no longer, you know, I'm going to take that away
4 hours of your
from my
weekend,
time.
yeah.
I don't watch TV. I don't watch anything.
You don't have
Netflix.
TV, you know?
I have TV for my son, who's 4. Okay, he likes to watch Hot Wheels, so that's there for him. But I wouldn't watch TV. I can't see how watching anything on TV is going to serve me towards my goals. Okay, unless it was obviously Inspirepreneur podcast, Inspirepreneur podcast but otherwise it's pointless to me.
The time you spend, it should be valued in a different way.
Yes.
Because you can't just put your TV and sit on and
mindless
keep
activity.
on, you know, making complaints on others, saying that I'm not going to do this because I have this reason.
Yeah.
Because if you see others' lifestyle, 80% they waste the time and 20% they prioritize only for something.
Yes.
And they feel that the 80% of the time they are spending so great. That is all about the mindset they have actually. The things they can work out is like if they're spending 8 hours on one thing, they can do it in 1 hour actually.
Yeah.
And they can spend that 7 hours, the rest of 7 hours in something which can improve their skills.
Yeah.
About the mentorship, even the mindset plays the very, very crucial role in growing yourself or building something, you know, because 90% startups fail just because of mindset and understanding, you know, difference between the partners maybe. Because if you are dealing something, if I'm dealing something, you need to understand and prioritize. If I don't know something, that's fine, accept it. Go ask, hey, I'm lagging in this. Can you actually help me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that guy don't know, hire somebody who has a good ability in that. But people keep on fighting for this one, you know, you don't know these, just keep learning. They push themselves in a hard way that it hurts them and just live there. They'll stop everything. That's the point.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from Shani is the resilience or the perseverance to be able to keep going, or if something is challenging or really hard, like Shani's ability to be able to be like, we're still going, we're still moving forward, we're going to learn and keep going. That's something that she's definitely passed on to me as a mentor. And what I've found through my experience where certain chapters of the business have been really uncomfortable and really hard to have that mentor who I know I've seen push through.
Sorry to interrupt you. What are the real things which felt like very uncomfortable?
What was it?
What are the...
Yeah, well, I guess once you decide to go to another level, sometimes that can be really uncomfortable. And I think probably one of the biggest challenges that we had early on in the business was when we had our first smoothie bar that we had, and then that was in Greensborough, and we then had another smoothie bar that we opened, which Shani went and ran that bar, and then, you know, working part-time corporate, And then all of a sudden I was taking over ownership of the smoothie bar on my own, okay, which I'd never done before.
And we built that. It was really busy. Like
Yes.
together, it was a really busy bar.
Busy smoothie bar, big community.
Yeah.
But you know what I've learned is to say yes, and you know, and that's where you're gonna
go for it.
You know, gonna elevate yourself. So I was all in with running this business, this busy bar on my own. And you know, at times it was really tough. You know, trying to make everything work, serve the community, always be showing up with incredible energy every single day, no matter what's going on, you know, in your life. And at times, it was exhausting, you know, once the smoothie bar closes and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, it was just a lot of growth through that time. But I remember, you know, through that time, I would always tell myself that this is all part of the story, and just recognizing that I was uncomfortable, meaning I know that I'm learning, I'm developing here, and I'm learning things I'm going to be able to pass on to others in my business down the track. So once, you know, and you know, that was just a certain chapter, and things changed. We came back together.
I think one of the things that we learned through that is based on our community that we were building, that we were never really going to go into opening a smoothie bar again with just one person. It's just too much. So we just knew that from there that we would always make sure that we're together, and that's where the building of the team starts to come into play, is that we definitely want more than just us two, because we know that if we've got more people there, more energy, and not be in a bar by yourself. And you know, we learned through that experience that that's not the goal.
But because of that experience, I'm now so much more equipped and able and capable of times that are challenging. You know, I've built a stronger armor, because, you know, I've gone through, you know, that uncomfortable time, that when something else comes up, really now it's like, let's go. Like, no problem. Like, we know, and that's just one example. There's always different chapters and times in your life where you're building this business around things that are happening, but you become more resilient only by going through some hard times and getting uncomfortable and then continuing on. But once you get to the other side of it, you're more confident, you're more capable. So I think it's, you know, to your point, a lot of people get stuck in that, I don't know where to go from here, but just one foot in front of the other, just take the next step, keep moving forward, because on the other side you'll be a whole new level.
And in the same way, my mom used to tell me, every day is not same. If you're facing something today, just keep quiet and see what's happening. Tomorrow it will change. Exactly. Just you need to have that level of patience to, you know, just be calm and observe what's happening. That's it. That's where you learn. While you observe things, you obviously learn things. That's where you'll start changing them when it's not working.
And I think a big part of our culture is like, we're all about, you are going to go through those tough times, but never having the option to give up on yourself. So I think I've always learned that I'm never giving up, and I know that my team members know that I'm never giving up. So it almost allows them to realize that they're not going to give up too, because I know if I hold that value to myself, that even when things get tough with others, if they choose to give up, that's their problem. But I know that by me having a never give up attitude, that it's just going to pull them forward through the stuff, because I know that once they're through the messy parts, they're just going to be on a whole new level, and they're going to build themselves and become a better person, better entrepreneur, better business owner.
And that's the responsibility of leadership.
That's main responsibility, actually. Never giving up. You will find a way. Just find a way. That's
you're passionate.
That's all the main
you love
thing.
what you're doing. It's just like,
I usually talk with my other people and, you know, guide them and mentor them. 90% to 100% I suggest them, just try to figure it out. When somebody explains you, okay, let's go and do this big project, you may not even imagine how big it is. But just fix yourself mindset with that, you know, just let's do it. And then find a way every day. Because when you start to think how to do it, you'll get hundreds of options. That's where
the universe opens up for you.
And that's main thing, you know, when you desperately wanted something, literally that nature and universe opens every door. People don't know how to walk from that door. That's it. That's the main thing which matters. Because when door is open, you should be ready to just jump in and go out there and fix the things that matters.
I know a lot of people who say, I want to have my own business, or I want to be an entrepreneur, Once I find that thing, then I'll do it. I just don't know what I want to do yet. But when I do, I'll do it. You know, there's so many people, I'm like, well, just start doing something. Like, take a step forward. At least start opening the doors into that world. But so many people don't know what to do.
Or they say no when an opportunity is presented to them because they don't actually know what it is. I mean, I think when I think of business owners, I think, you know, massive upfront costs, capital investments, like just big money needs to be there to start a business, which in some cases, yes, it does. But with our business, it actually doesn't. It's really low startup costs.
Like I mean, nutrition, how did you find that 80% nutrition and 20% is exercise?
This has just been a philosophy that we've had since we've started, and our mentors
It's
and
like
through
for
Herbalife.
example, is it you created or you just followed from somebody else?
It's really aligned with Herbalife Nutrition, our partner. Okay, so that's really been the philosophy. And if we sort of break that down, I mean, really the 80% nutrition part, I mean, we know that in our Western society that there is a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of lack of education in the community, but also in terms of the foods that we eat. Like when we go to the supermarket now, the foods that we eat from
they're not as high quality.
They're not as high quality. Like they're not
They
as
used to be.
nutritious as they used to be like 30 years ago. Our soils in Australia are poor quality soils. So they're not growing the most nutrient dense foods that we, you know, really should be getting.
The fruit and veg is frozen and it's thawed out and it's put on the shelf.
Yeah, like it's just the quality of food that you get on a general day-to-day basis is not as good. Even our water, the filtration systems in our waters are not, our bodies are the filters, you know what I mean? So we basically, we know this. So I guess through our community, like the biggest part in that 80% nutrition is teaching people how to eat healthy whole foods.
The effects of the poor quality of food, like the main area that's affecting is our gut.
Yes.
Okay, so the gut health of people isn't as healthy as it can be, and that's really where all of our food's digesting. It's where we're absorbing all the nutrients with what we eat. So you've got less nutrient dense food, you've got a gut that's not really performing very well, it's not really absorbing the nutrition. So people are feeling like lethargic, or they're bloated, or they're not able to shift the weight. You know, there's a whole bunch of things that people come to us feeling, and you know, it really does all begin with some of that. Whole foods is so important, and it's eating everything, you know.
It's like a balance of protein, balance of fats, carbohydrates. Like we're not cutting any food groups out.
No.
That's the main thing that we are teaching. So it's not cutting carbs like some things out there. It's you know, making sure that we're getting enough protein in. And I mean, with our plans as well, I mean, you talk about gut health. That is such a big thing because with the alignment with Herbalife Nutrition, the products that we use are all about maintaining and cleansing your gut to begin with. Those villi that are inside the intestines, you know, we have the aloe, we have the good nutrition from the products and the food that helps cleanse our gut so we're absorbing better. So really that's kind of what happens when people get started on the nutrition program. They go through a process which is cleanse, absorb and regenerate. So they're initially cleansing out any of the bad toxins from
Bit of a detox.
You know, from like whatever they've been doing up until this point. People are drinking alcohol, they're stressed, they're dehydrated, they've got medications, they're exposed to pesticides and like parasites and things like that smoking, things that have caused them to be in this passive state of health. Then when they start on our nutrition programs, we want to go through and cleanse that. So that initial phase of cleansing is like a detox, okay? So we want the villi inside the intestines to start to cleanse, and that's why our aloe vera that we serve at our smoothie bars is so amazing, because that actually cleanses their gut, so that they have the villi standing up, they're absorbing better, and then we move on to that absorption phase where we can really start to absorb the good nutrition from our smart supplementation, our smoothies, our healthy foods, the water that we're drinking. That's starting to absorb into the bloodstream. So when that's going on, of course, we're becoming a lot more healthier. And because our bodies are made up of cells,
we're always regenerating.
We're regenerating cells. So now that we're being healthier, we're regenerating healthier cells. We're not using the toxic stuff that we were doing before. Healthy cells start to form, so that cellular regeneration starts to take place. So, then we're starting to create this healthier glow. Our bodies are functioning at more of an optimal level when all that micronutrients from our supplementation and smoothies is really kind of boosting everything up. And we're obviously eating really good, healthy, clean food as well.
So we're partnering up whole food nutrition with supplementation, and the supplementation's there to plug the gaps that our food is not giving us from a nutritional level.
That will be,
Absolutely. Our smoothies are absolutely loaded with nutrition, like vitamins, minerals, protein, carbs, fats. They are super high quality smoothies, and having a couple of those in and around all the food that you're eating every day. And hydration is a huge one. So many people just aren't drinking enough water. We know that it's 1 litre of water for every 25 kilograms of body weight per day is optimum hydration, okay? And so many people aren't hitting that, but we educate on that, and you see a huge difference when you just start increasing your hydration. Some people find drinking water boring, and they just, don't really feel desired to drink their bottle of plain water. That's right. So we have so many different options within our drink bottle where we enhance people's results with their gut health and their digestion with aloe vera, with additional fiber and things that taste good in their drink bottle that they want to drink it. So they're hydrated and reaping the benefits. Yeah.
Coming to the products, what are the products you are using from the Herbalife? Because Herbalife is obviously the big company. So what are the products you are using? Like what way you are designing that?
I mean, we have our smoothies are one of our main core products. That's part of our nutrition plan because we know that really does fill the gap. So there's the smoothies. We have our multivitamin that goes hand in hand with that smoothie. But also we have our aloe vera, our tea. I'm not going to go through the whole product range, but just know there is different levels of the nutritional products that we incorporate into our day that fills the gaps for our specific needs. So there's supplements for gut health. There's other targeted nutrition supplements that are designed for healthy aging and
there's
heart
also
health.
and sports performance as well is a huge area. So we have a lot of sports performance products to enhance training, exercise, performance, recovery. There's a whole range. So dependent on that individual's goals, there's personalized programs and a range of products that we use.
So before they wanted to do something, they can come in here and try the products and see how it works. Then they can jump in and start doing the workouts and everything. And your workouts are like free sections, am I right?
Yes.
That's like you are helping the local communities.
Yes.
And how is the response from the other people who are coming to workouts?
They love it. So good. We're really building a strong community because it can be expensive to have gym memberships out there.
Yeah, seriously, it's expensive.
Yes, it is.
I feel only Denmark is the cheapest. Like seriously, I'm being there from like 5 years. It's only like maybe $400 for me.
Yes.
But they put that in the offer. So when the offer is there, I'll just go and take the year membership, like $400. If I go out, it will be so high.
Yes, but I mean, people have their gym membership still, but this is just an opportunity for them to come and work out. I mean, if people can't afford gym memberships, so this is a free option that they can come and move their bodies. And, we want to be able to have them, if they've got some money that they can spend on their wellness, we know that the 80% nutrition part is the most important part if they want to feel that dynamic wellness. That's where it starts. We give them a free workout. And then all of everything else that we provide, our coaching, our challenges, our education, our smoothie bars, all that stuff is just provided as part of that nutrition program.
Till now, how many members joined in your community?
Well, we have a mission of impacting 10,000 people in our local community. So that's, I think we're well on the way. I feel like we are. Like throughout our smoothie bars, we've been able to really impact a lot. We might need to raise the bar up a bit. But we know that with our impact, we're going to find people that are in our community that would also like to open their own smoothie bars and build a amazing community themselves, which might mean then expanding. They go out to another area and they have a goal of impacting 10,000 people. So then all of a sudden we're impacting 10,000, they're impacting 10,000. We've got 20, and then we know that it's just going to spread because people see the value in what we're doing.
What is the best advice you have ever received?
I think the best advice for me is there's a personal development mentor, Jim Rohn. He's like the godfather of personal development. We love reading Jim Rohn, watching Jim Rohn. And something really powerful that he says is for things to change, you must change. And another way that he says that also is when things change inside of you, things change around you. So that is really powerful because it really puts into perspective that we ourselves are the problem and we are the solution. So however things are going in life, if they're not going the way that you want them to go, you can never blame anybody else. It's only you that has the power and the control to make that change. So being reflective and always putting the work in yourself, that is how things are going to change for you. That's been the best advice that I've had.
For you, Sandy?
Like, I love the quote, if it has to be, it's up to me. And I feel like even our mentors have said that from the get-go, which it's that personal responsibility for your own life and where you're at, and not pointing your finger out and always pointing your finger in if things aren't going your way. So if your business isn't growing, that's up to me. You know, if my relationships are not great, it's up to me to change it. If I'm not being a present mum, or I've got mum guilt, or whatever it might be, it's up to me to change it. So it's not, I'm not looking for external issues, environmental issues that's causing the problems, like my husband or my working with a sister or whatever. It's up to me. So yeah.
And it's a great way to live because you're always in control, right? Because you are the one that can change it.
When you take responsibility, that's where you'll start changing things, because you'll know how to figure it out.
That's right.
That's where your mind starts thinking, okay, I need to change it. Why, and what, how. That's where, question starts everything.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in terms of a book, reading books has always been a thing in the last really 8 years of my personal development journey. One of the key ones that I read in the earlier days, which really made me see things very differently, was The Leader Who Had No Title by Robin Sharma. I love Robin Sharma. And I think more it was around that you don't need to be a CEO or a boss or a manager or someone in a high position to have personal leadership or to be a leader. Like, you could be anything, like anything you do on a daily basis. There's standards, there's leadership. So if you can be the best that you can be, I think that's when you can influence other people to be their best.
That has the best advice. Yeah. It was awesome talking to you guys, and you got amazing experience, and I'm so happy to have you here today. Okay, thank you for coming, guys.
Thanks for having us, Prudvi.
It's been so cool. We're so thank you for the opportunity. It's been awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.